Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Campus Care Ed Talks. I am Nandini Upadhyay, would like to welcome you all. So Ed Talk is a platform where educators like you and leaders like you come on board and express their viewpoints, topics related to education and society. Our topic for discussion is NEP strategies for promoting arts, crafts, literature and sports in the education system. To express their viewpoints on the same, we have with us Agnes Ma'am, who is a school program director of Bloomingdale, Narayangaon. Welcome, Agnes Ma'am.
Thank you.
Second educator that we have is Gurinder Kaur Ma'am, who is the principal of Euro School, Chimney Hills, Bangalore. Welcome, Gurinder Ma'am.
Thank you so much, Nandita. Thank you.
Next, we have Gauri Prabha Prasad Ma'am, who is the principal of Gurukul High School, Bangalore. Welcome, Gauri Ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Nandini.
So, a very warm welcome to all the educators. Thank you so much for taking out your precious time. So, before we dive into the interview, could you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your background, starting with Gauri Ma'am?
Thank you, Nandini. I'm working as a principal of Gurukul High School. This is my 8th year in this present school, but working as a principal from past 13 years. I was a teacher for 5 years. Then I shifted myself into an administration, and then most of the school affiliations, upgradations, and extensions are my fortes. So I'm good at that.
Thank you so much, Gauri Ma'am. So, Agnes Ma'am, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
I've also worked in various schools in Maharashtra and got a good experience, as ma'am just now said, about CBSE portals, and we all struggle for extensions and affiliations. And yes, a good hand on trainings, master trainer for CBSE with a vast experience of 30 years.
Thank you so much, Agnes Ma'am. Next, we have Gurinder Ma'am. Ma'am, please introduce yourself.
So, my name is Gurinder Kaur. I'm working as a principal in Euro School, Chimney Hills, Bangalore. I have got an experience as a principal for last about 27 years. I've just moved from Ahmedabad, where I was stationed for the same organization for 7 years. And what Miss Gauri and Miss Agnes are talking, yes, it's a long way struggle, whether it is CBSE affiliations or even the subject affiliation for that matter. So that has been a part of my forte, but my main interest has always been art. So that is also one of the reasons, Nandini, I wanted to join your webinar. And NEP, yes, it interests all of us. Let's see where it goes and how it goes. Certain things we have always been doing at school level, right, Agnes ma'am and Gauri ma'am?
Yes, we agree.
We've always been doing the integration, whatever skill education, some way or the other, from grade 1 to grade 2 to then the middle school, we moved on. All activities we have been doing. But now all these activities are already there on pen and paper, black and white. So that is all about me, and looking forward to this exciting session with the NTAB.
Thank you so much, Gurinder Ma'am. So, let's start off with the session. So, my very first question is for Agnes Ma'am. Ma'am, how does the National Education Policy, which is NEP, aim to promote arts and craft in the education system?
It has now given emphasizes more on art integration and experiential learning. We did have art as a separate subject. The art teacher was not involved into the other subjects, or the other subjects did not take the help of art in their teaching, where now they want to bring all the subjects close knit. Suppose I'm teaching mathematics, they want art to come into mathematics. If I have taught science, they want them to species that they have learned, or if they want to teach a vocabulary, they could form it into a and teach that subject where the children learn better, and through that their learning becomes more enjoyable and joyful. Classrooms are there. Otherwise the other subject teachers would just grab the art period. I have not completed my portion, you give me the art period. Art subject was not an important subject. Yes, I agree with ma'am. As she said, we've been doing this all throughout the years, but now there is a shift. It art is getting more emphasis, and the NEP is talking of involving local artists, local culture, and they will be inviting people, or they want to encourage the artist, local artists, and where children will be encouraged to meet them, introduce them, talk to them, or they may invite artists into the ground. And that art is not only going to create their learning, but their cognitive skills, self-esteem, problem solving, teamwork, socialization, all other skills are going to be enriched through art activity. And art is will be introduced through early childhood only. First they used to only color an apple and color, but now art is going to be given more emphasis, I would say. First art will be there, dance forms will be there, music, sculpture, painting, photography, various skills are there in chapter 4 mentioned now. And art is going to get more memento, and I hope so children enjoy it.
Thank you, Agnes ma'am. Gauri ma'am, would you like to add something to what Agnes ma'am has just said?
Yeah, I completely agree with the Agnes ma'am and Gurinder ma'am that we have been doing all these things. We also had much more than what we are doing now. Okay, but then slowly with the time, it was started getting disintegrated. Something, I think you can tell it as a realization that we are losing somewhere. So after, see, when NEP came, it came after 35 years. So now when we tell evolution is a continuous process, so 35 years back's challenges will not be the same thing further ahead. I think there was a requirement of this NEP for a change, because the set of children which are coming now are not the same generation which was 10 years back. So the challenges which they are going to face are not going to be the same one what these challenges used to be. So I believe lot of skill development has to be done, and art is only one way where you can create multiple intelligence in children. I believe all the children are capable of having all the 9 intelligences, multiple intelligence. It's only that gradients might be different. Like I might be good at arts, but I might be excellent in dancing. So it's just that you need to provoke that interest. And if learning becomes so interesting, because attention span, if you see of a child now, is much more less compared to the prior to 5 years. Not even much. I won't even tell generations back. Just 5-10 years back, the children used to sit back in the class for say 30 minutes. Now children can't sit more than 10 minutes in a class. So then what is that remaining 40 minutes of the period going to be? So actually the attention or the teaching is going to be only 10 minutes, but you have to make the child learn and learn and learn for the next 30 minutes. And that's the challenge which a teacher is going to face. So I think the art integration in the teaching system will bring out that interest in a child to catch the attention for that remaining 30 minutes of a period. So, and that can be useful by making the learning more joyful, because the experiential learning is something which is a permanent learning. You can never forget it. So that's the best way to inculcate this. And children love arts and sports. So that's the best way we can engage the children in the classroom. So how beautiful it would be if Pythagoras theorem can be taught in the tennis ground. So that would be the fantastic way to bring out children, because we all did Pythagoras theorem at a time where the teacher told us that was the data and this is what we have to prove, and we all proved it, but we didn't know why did we prove it, and we didn't even know the applications of it or value of it. But today we have to create a value of every learning, because information is already available in the net. It's not about knowledge acquiring only in education today, it's about skill acquiring. So I believe bringing art integration or sport integration in the curriculum can bring out that experience or skill development in a child, or which is a overall development for a child. So this is what I feel.
Thank you, Gauri and Agnes, ma'am. I absolutely agree with you. These NEP integration, sports integration, art integration, and let's talk about cross linkage, integration as well, where we, through the monuments, we can teach physics, maths, and that makes very interesting for the children as well. Thank you so much. So, my next question is for Gurinda, ma'am. Ma'am, what role does NEP envision for arts education in fostering creativity and innovation among students? Over to Virendra, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Already, somewhere what Agnes and Gauri ma'am has been talking, Gauri was talking about skills. First comes the training of the children, training of the teachers. So these teachers also have to be skilled now. Of course, CBSE is doing a whole lot of training, in-house training, some capacity building trainings. But then when we are talking about integrating arts and culture, so of course critical thinking is developed, problem solving skills are developed among the children. Um I 101% agree with Miss Gauri what she was talking about, the attention span of the children nowadays. It is very, very less. And to catch hold of those particular important minutes in the class, teacher has to be extremely skilled. And of course, the vision of NEP is great in art integration and art education as a very important component of or which is going to nurture the imagination, or whether it is the expression, or whether it is interdisciplinary learning, which we have been doing, and now we will have to do it in a different manner and in a proper documented manner. And of course these things will enable the students. um, Apple cannot be just red, and A for it is never going to be A for apple. We have to children already know it is never an A for apple. It could be so many other things also. And when see I have seen in my own school also, and I have observed, you just cannot tell a child to just draw anything, and we have to make the child think. And sometimes they come up with a whole lot of surprising creative artworks also. NEP is doing great things, but then it boils down to skills of the teachers also. Are we having that set of teachers? Are we having that kind of environment at the moment where we can do this? Because when we are not in that 40 minutes, it comes to children coming in, going out, settling down. 30 minutes, 30 comes to 25. In that 25 minutes, how much the teacher can utilize, because there is always a syllabus. Agnes ma'am and Gauri ma'am, you will agree, at the back of the head of a teacher there is a syllabus completion in their
Yes.
mind all the time, right? And now we are in November month. I'm sure all of them will agree also that when we are talking about NEP, are we actually going to be successful in doing it? um, we have to start doing it from the scratch again if we have to document it properly, because CBSE asks for a whole lot of documentation, and we have to do that way also. Yes, it is very, very good plan. It is enabling the students to have that well rounded development. Now the children nowadays, children are it's everything is at the tip of their thumb, not even on the finger now. Because they have to hold in four fingers, they have to hold their tab or their mobile. Everything is on the tip of their thumb, and they use it faster than you and me together. It is going to be a long road ahead. if we are going to, actually put it across in a proper documented manner in school. Ultimately, CBSE asks for that. They want that. Did you do it? How did you do it? Then we have to go back into some 4 5 years or maybe 10 years experience, that okay, fine, that time we did this teacher did this, maybe we'll have to add that way also. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Gurinder ma'am. Agnes ma'am, would you like to add on what ma'am has just said?
I agree with her totally, but that's only going to be a greater challenge in NEP. Like, we'll have to get the child who likes to, on computers, we'll tell him to prepare a short film, prepare a PPT, prepare a jigsaw puzzle, something like that, where they like and they will easily do it. Maybe a physics problem, maybe a drama, they will do the acting, something like that, where the art is brought in and create interest, because they want only at the tip of the finger, as ma'am already said. But how to bring them out of it? By getting their colleagues involved, give them group activities, and that way then you will get their attention span, as ma'am had said, Gauri ma'am also had said, that 30 minutes to keep them engaged. They put it on them, self learning, get that cross curricular activities done, integrate two subjects together. I don't like maths, but I like art. Probably through art I will learn my maths. I'm not good at language, maybe through science I will learn the language. Something like that is what this art integration is going to do. And cross curricular subjects, yes, it's a challenge, documentations, as ma'am said, but ultimately we have to learn the takeaway, what have they taken from us. And teachers training, yes, CBSE is trying their level best. We schools also, our management also gives emphasizes, train the teachers. And more is, retention of teachers is another problem in Maharashtra. I don't know about what is
Everywhere,
in
Agnes
Bangalore
ma'am,
now.
everywhere.
That
It's
is the problem
everywhere.
everywhere,
It's a
which I would
problem.
Everywhere.
like to add on some points on this matter. The can I?
Yes,
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
sure,
Gauri
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah. So I feel, the technology has changed. If you relate to people, I think all those who are educators today are all of 70s, 80s, and 90s children, where we have seen technology developing from a Doordarshan TV to today having each channel with each child in the house. So choice has increased and challenges are also increased. Loss of same thing, whatever we have gained, we have lost a lot of things also. We have lost values, we have lost culture, we have learned a lot of things, so we don't know what to leave and what to catch. So I believe bringing this NEP will also bring some of your lost diversified culture, what we are actually, which is lost in the lost this technological world, where we are only behind the upgradations. And today if you see, those days one telephone to convert into a dialing phone to a button phone took 10 years. But from today's generation, if you see, you have every day a new model of phone coming out. So the features are also changing. So technology which was growing in 10 years of time is growing in minutes of time. So it might become seconds in some few years. So the challenges for the children are also going to be enhancement. So at that time, only if you have knowledge and you can't produce with the skill, it is of really no use. A child today can't even have the confidence of standing and talking or expressing his feelings. That has become a huge challenge today. So he's been juggled between between so many generations of of technology and people, so they don't know what to pick up and what to drop. So I think NEP will bring out so much of things, lost things also, compacting it along with the learning today, and somewhere we also gain what is lost. So I think that is also one of the good aspect of NEP, that we don't even know our own culture. We don't even know who are relatives, and we don't even have a basic etiquettes of greeting somebody or asking help. So I think that is something NEP will bring out, because this collaborations will make them do in teams. So I think that that should be a positive. No, I believe this should change in children.
Will
I
change, ma'am.
I absolutely would agree with all the three educators, and like Gauri ma'am talked about the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s generation as per the educator's point of view. Let me talk about as a student point of view. I'm the 90s student, so the even the education system has absolutely changed. The way of teaching, it fascinates me the way children are now, through experiential learning. They have been, teachers are teaching in classes, right? They are having that field trip experience as well through the digital content, right? So that's a really interesting way of studying. So let's go ahead. And my next question is for Gauri ma'am. Ma'am,
Okay.
how does NEP emphasize the importance of cultural heritage and traditional arts in the education system?
Yeah, I think I already put out some points from my end that, if you talk to a child today, it's more of practical. We were not like that when in our generations. They know what is what knowledge is, because knowledge is available on the net. So now education does not only define about knowledge, acquiring knowledge. It's all about, what else did you learn? So if you ask a child, why do you come to school? They'll tell you, I come to enjoy. I come to make friends. I come to see, I come to play. These are all small things. You'll get answers in the classroom. So I believe this NEP, when it comes inside, we will also have to bring out what is lost. This is what I told you in the previous question also, that, somewhere our heritage, our culture, our values, and moral education, moral science, what we has to we were teaching in our times, that slow and steady wins the race. Are we going to teach the same thing to our children today? No. So the value education, the concept of moral education also has changed. So it is, I believe, when NEP comes into this exchange programs where we have interschool or intercity, and the exchange program, the twin Ek Shresht Bharat, Ek Bharat Shresht Bharat, all these things I think will bring out, because we don't know, when we don't even know who is our neighbor, is the scenario at present society. How will we know what is about the other state? So how will the respect for each other come? So NEP will bring in all these lost, concepts, which should be our basic. As an Indian, everybody should know that India is a diversified country, and you have to respect each other. So unless and I know you, unless I understand you, how will I respect you? So I believe NEP will give a opportunity for children to explore, not only inside in India or outside the world, the global education, where these exchange programs, like simple, when our Karnataka is now tagged out to Ladakh. Yeah, I don't think that, this is one I would like to put it across. Yeah, why we have to limit it to become making only art classrooms, like, you collect some information about Ladakh, and there Ladakh people might be collecting some about Karnataka. There should be actually a live exam where we send our children, or have at least online interaction to actually understand that particular place. So if something like that can come after years, and that could be an excellent, that every year I learn only one state. That's more than enough to understand the rich. And India is very rich in heritage and its culture, which every textbook is telling. But then is it for a child? So I think it is time for them to know it is. And we were all like, we knew a mango is, whether it is grown on a tree or a plant. Now you ask a child, where is the mango? He'll tell you in the bazaar, in the supermarket. So this is the scenario. So simple activities of climbing a tree. I remember in our childhood, we knew every neighbor's house, how many mango trees are there, and which mango tree had how many mangoes, which I can take tomorrow. And we were so, talking to a neighbor. Simple skill is asking a help. How many of our children can raise hands and ask help? Nobody is ready. A simple thing like, understanding failure. I'm okay to fail, and I can find another alternative, because we tell that failure is the stepping stone of a success. But how many of us allow the child to fail? How many of us allow the child to solve its problem by itself? Either the teacher is handling that problem, or the parent is handling that problem. We also had problems, but we solved it ourselves. That's why we are successful today. So if the same skill is devoid from the child, how will he become successful? So I think these are all challenges. I think we have, you know, forgotten over years in these 20, 30 years, which we must, I think, revive now. And that has become a responsibility of school. Now, many teachers ask me, why school, ma'am? Are we moral science teachers? Are we life skill teachers? We are supposed to teach science or social. No, science and social knowledge is available in Google. You are facilitators. You are making human beings, not robots. So if a teacher, if a child has gotten information in Google, it is you who has to clarify how much is required for that child. So it is, I think, human touch which is lost over years. NEP can bring out that culture and heritage of India back.
Thank
Totally
you,
agree,
Gauri
Gauri.
ma'am.
Totally agree.
Vrinda ma'am, would you like to add on to what Gauri
Yes,
ma'am said?
when she was talking about mango trees, and when Gauri was talking about those, life experiences which we have had in our school. Nowadays, I'm sure Agnes and Gauri will say and will agree also, because there is a slight fear in the back of the mind of a teacher that if she is going to say something to the child, the parent will come barging in. I'm sure in your time, in our time, when we were students, parents never bothered. It must have been your fault. So what Gauri is totally talking about values. These are the values which begin at home. Acha, abhi to school must be at fault. They will think on those lines. The parents have to, we have to bring in the parents also into it, because there are,
I
it's
agree with that.
never a one-way journey. It's a two-way. Parent and school has to support the child ultimately, but it is a blame game always. It's all, and somewhere at the back of the mind, the teacher will always have, a fear. If I'm going to say something, and what, when she was talking about greeting, yes, the children have forgotten. Children have totally forgotten that when there's a teacher standing, or when there's a principal standing, of course they will wish me. But when there's a teacher standing, now it is hi, ma'am. It's never good morning, ma'am. It's hi, ma'am. It's like that. That kind of, basic manners, which has to, the values have to be brought back in, and the NEP will support there. NEP, it's,
Yeah, I would like to also add on this parental interactions. Yes, see, in our times, we had very rare mothers who were working. So I
yes,
think that was our plus point. We didn't have many nuclear families. The challenges were our parents, our mother, especially the children who were born in 70s, and this is my personal experience also. 70s and 80s children, their mothers wanted to give the rights to a girl child. So they fought for it. They said, you are equal. And they made us competent, but they forgot about their sons. So the daughters were allowed without preparing their sons. Today, we are knowing the differences, what has happened. So we can relate to, and more, what is the result today we found in our generation parents is all single parents, nuclear parents who want to try everything on their own. And it is like, all these parents who come, new parents, are people who walk in dark with the candlelight, who they neither want to listen to anybody, they neither want to take help from anybody. So it is, I think, time where school has to involve the parents. Parenting has also become one of the responsibility of the school.
of the
So
school. Totally.
NEP has already told you have to involve the parent as stakeholders and involve them in your activities.
Yes.
So it's becoming easy now. When we tell there is a problem, the child is having this problem, we directly call, yeah, please handle this class with this skill of yours for one session. So at the end, the parent realizes the pains of a teacher. So I think this also is one of the aspects which NEP has allowed the parents to walk into the gate of a school, which has might be challenges with teachers faces, will reduce over a period of time. It is not going to be easy, but it will surely happen one day.
And involve in the assessment also now.
Yes.
So they'll come to know where their child stands.
I know. Observations, I believe, more than the exams, we give observations of parents to sit in the classroom. Give one parent, 30, 40 students in a class. Term wise, make only one parent sit for 10 minutes in the class. They will never come back to the classroom, and they will pity the teacher from that day onwards. So I believe these are all the things I think the school has to take initiative, where we understand. You see, it's very easy to blame. The parents blame the teacher blames the parent, the culture. This will go on. So unless empathy comes, what is now empathy? Empathy is putting yourself in that shoes. Now let the teachers feel the pain of a teacher, a parent, and then let the parent feel the pain of a teacher. Only then we can solve this problem.
I absolutely agree with you, Gauri ma'am. And I hope this, NEP different integration, helps to build the skill of the students of the school and the student of our nation as well. Because if the skills are, developed, of course, our India will grow, and with that, our economy will of course grow. With this, we come to an end of our session. Thank you so much to each and every educator for imparting your knowledge and experience on the topic. I was indeed, I was very, I think so. I've got a lot of insights of the, today's education system from you educators. So thank you so much. Looking forward for many more sessions like these. On this note, I, Nandini Upadhyay, the host of the show, would like to sign off. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gurinder
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Agnes
Thank
ma'am.
Gauri.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Agnes.
Gauri
Thank you,
ma'am.
Nandini.
Bye.
Bye, bye,
Bye.
bye. Have a nice
Bye.
evening. Bye. And
Yeah,
happy Diwali to all of you.
Happy
Happy
Diwali.
Diwali.
Happy
Thank
Diwali.
you. Thank you so much.